Alright, YouTube, what is up? It is Psychedelic Scizor, and I'm here with my draft breakdown for the GBA style, not draft league, Discord league, GSDL. What a great start. This is at least the second time I've had to record this because my audio was messed up for the first one and you couldn't hear a word I was saying. So at least I have practiced and also come up with nicknames for everything now. I was having trouble before. Alright, so this draft was completely planned out before I even did it. Like, I've had to make a couple substitutions, but that was it for the most part. I went according to plan, and I stuck with what I'm familiar with, but because I've done this before, I've really fine-tuned it, and you'll see what I mean. So first, I had some earlier pick, I don't remember, around 6th. My first pick in the entire draft was Clefable. I love this mon. It is so versatile. We all know what it does. You know, it's got great stats all the way around. They're all usable except for maybe speed, but even then, that's enough where if you slap a choice scarf on it, it's going to outspeed things, you know? We all know it gets support options like Thunder Wave and Soft Boiled and Wish and Heal Bell. It's a good cleric. It also has great offensive options on both the physical and special side. We forget that physical Clefable can be a thing, but it's got high enough attack for them to be usable. It gets power up punch and just excellent coverage. If this thing got player rough, this thing would be physical Clefable would happen a lot. Well, not in the ladder, but you know, draft league. And just, we all know what it does, and it's excellent at what it does. It also gets great abilities in Magic Guard and Unaware. I mean, these are two excellent abilities. I love these things. You know, so it's definitely a worthy first round pick. Also, it's a great stealth rocker. I love this thing as a stealth rocker. It gets them up so well because it threatens so many things out. It gets free rocks all the time. And next, we have another mon I really like, especially because of the nickname, Donald J. Trump the Crocodile. Speaking of good abilities, this thing's got 2 of them too. Intimidate and Moxie are both extremely viable. This thing gives me a very good Pursuit Trapper. Dark Stab is very good, and Ground Stab is very good. Put them together, you have an excellent mon. It gets good coverage too, you know. Look at this. This is all the coverage you need right here, although you would use Fire Punch, not Fire Fang. Does this thing get Fire Punch? No, I guess you would have to use Fire Fang. But still, regardless, it also gets good setup. I know it gets Hone Claws. It does get Swords Dance, right? Right? Don't make me look bad. No, you don't get Swords Dance either. Well, you get Moxie, which is good enough. And because of these stats, look at this. It is a very viable offensive and defensive mon. Obviously, 117 attack is going to hit hard, 92 can outspeed a lot of stuff. In defensive, when you consider that it runs Intimidate, you know, you always get a -1 attack. This thing's pretty bulky with 95 HP, you know. And it may seem weird that I drafted Crocodile this early in the draft, but you will see later on exactly why I picked the 2 mons that I did early on. Actually, even the first 3, really. Third is Drizzy Drake the Heatran. I also love this mon. I think it is very hard to overcome quad weaknesses in Draft League, and Heatran still faces that problem, but it probably handles it better than any other mon I've seen, like any defensive mon I should say. Like, it doesn't matter that Landorus Incarnate is quad weak to ice. It's not going to run defensive. It'll run offensive, but Heatran handles it pretty well because ground, it's very easy to cover because there's lots of ground immunities. Like, it's not just super spammable, and these stats are so excellent. Every single one of these stats is very usable, and it's a good moveset to use it. Just like Clefable, good coverage on the physical and special side. This thing can even run Flame Charge, you know, to set up. I'm sorry, it is late when I'm recording, and I'm very tired. It is about 12:45 in the morning because what is sleep? And yeah, also good support options, Roar, Taunt. It's another stealth rocker. I've drafted 3 stealth rockers in a row. And Will-O-Wisp is always nice, except when you don't hit it, which is majority of the time. And yeah, I've got a really good defensive core going on. There's some good synergy here. You know, this thing, Crocodile, really doesn't like to be Will-O-Wisped. I have 2 Will-O-Wisp answers right here. Speaking of not liking to be Will-O-Wisped and good abilities, we have Puff, the Salamence, which also, like Crocodile, gets Intimidate and Moxie. And this is also a mon, we know what it does. It's very, very good offensively on both sides. It hits 100 base speed, which is excellent. But also, this mon can be defensive. It can run Defog, it can run Wish, it can Roost. I don't think you get Heal Bell, though. Still, regardless, this thing... Oh yeah, Tailwind, I forgot, that's what I was thinking of. It's another excellent versatile mon. You know, the key to Draft League is versatility, so you're not predictable. This thing gives me good options too. It's also just, you know, doing simple things. It does simple things very well. You can choice scarf it, you know, run Adamant, run Outrage, run Moxie, and just kill the crap out of things. You know, you need those sometimes. You just need the ability to just kill the crap out of things. And next we have Hentai, the Tentacruel. I needed a spinner. I didn't have any hazard control outside of defog on Puff, and while it's a decent defogger, the problem is it really just you don't want your defogger to be weak to rocks. I mean, it's not effective. You're gonna get worn down so fast. This thing is an excellent hazard remover. Excellent Spadef, can switch into a lot of things. It's gonna an odd typing, but overall net is a good typing. Its weaknesses aren't too common outside of electric, and actually what am I talking about? Electric and ground are both pretty common coverage. God damn it. It's also pretty fast, actually. You wish it covered, you know, a little more offensively. It packed a little more of a punch, but Acid Spray makes it a lot more threatening. It also can haze. This thing also, you know, Scald. It's immediately good if you can run Scald, Rapid Spin, reason I drafted it primarily. This can even Swords Dance. I've seen Swords Dance used in Draft League. I didn't say I saw it used well, but I saw it used. And Clear Body is a decent ability, so is Liquid Ooze. If I was running Rain Dish would be good, but I'm not running Rain. I don't know how I feel about it. I have it in another league that I'm also recording. You'll probably have seen it by now. Maybe. I don't know which I'm uploading first. You will eventually see it, and I don't know how I feel about it. I'm getting mixed vibes from it. But that's pretty much it on Tentacruel. Next is Thornbury, the Roserade. Again, good abilities. Technician means this thing has coverage out the ass because it has 90 base power, hidden powers. That's all you need. And it gets good coverage outside of that. Dazzling Gleam, Extra Sensory, Grass coverage is actually very good. You know, it's not as common, so having very quality grass coverage is really, really nice. It's really, really nice. This thing also has some support options. It can run spikes and toxic spikes. It can, you know, heal itself with synthesis. Mostly the ability to spike stack is very nice. This thing forces a lot of switches and will get free spikes up a lot. I have a lot of good hazards so far, and this is one of the replacements I was talking about. While I like this mon, I wanted Celebi because I wanted a pivot, and I think Celebi is overall more versatile because it can run. Neither one run physical very well, but it runs physical better just because it has better base attack. And this thing also, I would argue, not argue because it's not an argument. This thing is a better sweeper per se because it's faster and it can run Nasty Plot and Calm Mind. But overall, it's not even like I'm disappointed in Roserade. Roserade is still excellent. You know, Grass Poison is a good defensive typing. Not super common weaknesses. God damn it, I'm yawning again. I need to get this over with. And this right here is where the draft all comes together. Mega Metacham. This is the third league I've used it in. I think I finally found out how to perfectly use it. It's not a sweeper. It is a wall breaker. It is a damn good wall breaker. You know, there's not much aside from ghosts that can switch in high jump kick. This thing is going to spam high jump kick on everything else. And you know what I got to handle ghosts? I got a good Pursuit Trapper, and I got a Fairy type to handle Spiritomb and Sableye. The only ones that aren't weak to Pursuit. Plus, Mega Metacham doesn't like being Will-O-Wisped. That's what Heatran does. plus dual intimidate makes it easier to get Mega Medicham in. Oh, that's shit. I'm gonna have to upload this the same day as a team builder now because I just revealed the team. Shit. And yeah, this is easily my favorite Mega and Draft League format. Not the best, but my favorite just because it gives you options that other Megas just don't. Like, this thing is probably the hardest Mega in the game to switch into that's not, like, banned. Like, something stupid like Mega Lucario. Who the hell lets that in the Draft League? I think it's busted as hell. But it also, aside of not being able to hit Psychics or Ghosts at all, its coverage is actually very good. Fighting Stab is already very good. It gets Elemental Punches. Fake Out actually hits hard just because of its stupid attack stat. And you know what? Not that you really should ever run it, but it's just worth noting that it actually gets good special coverage too. And 80 is usable, but it's this thing maxes out to like not even 300 special attack, whereas with pure power and everything, this thing's attack is almost 600, which is absurd. There are mons that set up to +2 and don't get to 600. It's ridiculous. I love this mon so much, so much. It is so fun to use. All right, and as this is coming together, as you're seeing, this team is built around Mega Medicham being a star. And, you know, I have some cleaners. As you saw, I have some very good ways of taking out its counters. And one of the best duos, I've used this in Draft League before and I've had the most success, is running Electros with Chuck Norris, my Mega Medicham. Because of the slow Volt switches. It's bulky, it can take hits, runs Assault Vest Prime more effectively than just about any other mon. And the slow speed means it's going to take the hit, it's going to Volt Switch out, and it's going to get in Mega Medicham for free. Levitate means it has no weakness, which is great for a mon that is kind of bulky, but, you know, if the thing could get hit super effectively, it would diminish its value a lot, because it doesn't have the bulk to take super effective hits. But it has excellent coverage on both sides. Like, it is just so good. You get just about every type on both sides. Also, you get support options like Thunder Wave and Toxic, although just about everything gets Toxic. Super Fang is really nice for wearing mons down. It even can run Rest Talk sort of effectively. Roar is also nice. Power Up Punch, you know, just you name it. Also gets Light Screen. Does it get Reflect? I don't believe it does. It does not. Oh well. Still, this thing, I love using this. These two are probably my favorite duo in Draft League, especially because Electros is such a good value pick. This thing is a tier 4. This is just a god for me. Like, I love using this. But on to the rest of the draft. Next, I drafted Dugtrio, which with the high speed, like, I was lacking speed on the team. I realized with my last 3 picks, I needed speed. So here's how I handle it. Dugtrio can trap faster threats that aren't faster than it, or even with Focus Sash, can trap faster threats. So just simple, you don't have to worry about them because you just trap them with Dugtrio. Also, you play the mind games of do they even want to kill your mon, because if they kill it, then Dugtrio comes in and kills them. And mind games are so fun to play in Draft League. Like, it decides who is the men and who's the boys, and when you win those mental games, it's so much fun. I love it. You gotta have fun when you play, you really do. And its coverage is not excellent, it really isn't, but Edgequake is very good coverage as is, and Reversal is pretty nice too, if I'm running Focus Sash. That's really all you need. You can also Hone Claws, which is nice for Stone Edge. And that's really all Dugtrio does. It doesn't do a lot, but it does what it does very, very well. Very, very well. Next, we have Sneasel, another addition to my speed. 115 speed is pretty fast. Plus, with good recovery and Ice Shard and just excellent dual stabs, this is great. I especially wanted Sneasel because I wanted to draft Weavile, but it was the first thing drafted in the league. God damn it. This will be the last yawn of the recording, I promise. But yeah, probably one of the best offensive, if not the best offensive typing in the game. And two very spammable stabs with good enough coverage. You know, fighting coverage covers just about anything. It doesn't. It can swords dance if I wanted to. It can poison jab. You know, even has quick attack for literally no reason, actually. That is totally useless. Also, another pursuit trapper, so I don't have to bring Crocodile. Like, say, there's a Victini, you know. Victini outspeeds Crocodile, and it might not be the best if I don't want to run Scarf. So, I'm just going to pursuit trap with Sneasel instead. It doesn't hit quite as hard, but 95 plus stab is hard enough. And finally, my very last mon that I drafted, and you'll see why, is Combuskin. The reason I drafted it, speed boost and baton pass. Just, like, not even using it. Like, I don't use speed pass very much because I've had a league before where I have had Mega Medicham and Scolipede, which I will still argue is one of the better offensive cores in the game. It is, you know, Scolipede beats all the psychic types, and Chuck Norris beats literally everything else. You just need something to beat Ghosts, which I didn't have in that league. My best bet was Absol, but that's a story for another day. But anyway, I noticed when talking to my opponents after each game that all of them prepped so hard for Speed Pass, you know, for a +1 Mega Medicham. That's what I have here. I don't even run it that much, but I have run it before, and just the threat of having speed passed into Mega Medicham is excellent. Like, forcing prep is another one of the best things you can do in Draft League. Which is already what Mega Medicham does as is. It forces prep. Now you need to prep even harder because you don't just need to handle something that destroys everything, but you also need to handle something that outspeeds and destroys everything. And that's where Combuskin comes in. Admittedly, I don't know how much I'm going to use it offensively because if I want Fire Stab, I'm going to go to Heatran. If I want Fighting Stab, I'm going to go to Mega Medicham. But, you know, if I want to, you know, go 2 on them, you know, I could use Combuskin. It does get good enough coverage on both sides, you know. I just know that at the very end of the gen, it dropped down to PU, and I have not played there since then, but I'm sure it is terrorizing PU right now. Like, I totally believe it. You know, it can substitute and pass that, and really that's kind of what it does, but it does it well enough. You know, it was my very last pick. So, overall, I love this draft. Simple. It is the best draft I've ever made. If there's only one complaint, which I will say there is, it is that it's not fast enough. This has a lot of mons hit base 100 speed. It is, let's see, Mega Medicham, Tentacruel, and Salamence hit 100 speed. It has 2 mons over that, though. That's it. Like, this team, it will beat bulky, slower teams. Like, we'll definitely outspeed them, but as far as like handling more offensive teams, I don't really have a lot of options for like super speed. Like, I'm gonna need to figure out a way to upgrade that. But overall, this is a good team. I love this. Let's see where my recording's at. I'm about like 20 minutes, right? 18, close enough. Well, I gotta go. I will. It is 1 in the morning right now. So I have to go to sleep because I have to do stuff tomorrow because I unfortunately have to be a functioning human being. How terrible is that? Alright, well, if you liked what you saw, make sure to like, subscribe, share, do whatever the hell it is you do on YouTube videos, you know. I don't care. Just don't hit the dislike button. You're a bitch if you hit the dislike button. Alright, I'm going to get out of here, and you guys have a good day, and I will catch up with you guys later.